Hi, I'm Brian. I'm from Suburban Lawn and Equipment. I've been with Suburban now for roughly 15 years. Today we're going to do a couple of tech videos on some of the stuff that we see every single day that can be avoided. One of them is air filters. Halfway through the year when you're doing your preventative maintenance, how to check, do I got a good air filter or a bad air filter? You just grab a flashlight, and this is an older air filter, and as you can see, there's no light as you can see through this air filter. This is an older air filter compared to a new one. Talk about blades here too. See a lot of machines coming in with blades that are, they're just worn out to, very, very thin. As you can see, the edges on the lips, they're almost split. And literally, all it would take is, hitting an acorn or a monkey ball or a stick, and that piece of metal could actually hurt somebody. Then when you're running blades like this, and we get people saying all the time about, why am I going through clutches? And as you can see, this is the inside of a clutch on a zero turn and a walk behind. It's actually worn right into the rivets here. And this can all be avoided by having a good set of sharp blades. We see if you don't sharpen up your blades all the time, the clutch could only last at 300 hours, 500 hours. Guys that sharpen up the blades all the time, we've seen clutches last for 1,000 hours, 1,500 hours. Some of the motors that we do, like the Kawasaki and the Briggs motors, do require a valve adjustment at every 400 hours. Prime example, here's a machine with 500 hours on it, no valve adjustment, and as you can see, they actually broke the valve off and it fused inside the piston itself. This could have been avoided by doing, routine maintenance, every 400 hours on the Briggs motors and the Kawasaki motors to adjust the valves. Talk about a little bit about something about oil changes too. We always say, do it at every 50 hours. That's like a car doing it at 5,000 miles. Perfect example, here's a person that was going 200 hours in between oil changes, not checking the oil, and actually snapped the connecting rod. And as you can see on the piston in itself, all the oil burn marks and stuff like that. But if you do the oil, roughly 50, 60 hours, we've seen these motors last 5,000 hours. We actually have a few customers that have 7,000 hours on their machines, original motors, just doing routine oil changes and stuff like that. A lot of times, with the fuel injected motors, more and more Kohler motors, the Briggs motors, the Kawasaki motors, we see more and more fuel injected motors. Perfect example, I'm not getting good fuel economy, the motor's running rough or whatever on startups or performance wise. And a lot of times, what we'll see is, the O2 sensors being burned out. There's an actual heater that's inside these O2 sensors, and it goes down to servicing the motor. These O2 sensors are $100, then plus our time to recalibrate the computer, and so forth and so on.